So, sir, what's on your mind?
If you don't mind, would you have a seat over here and my
This
partner will
is a
sit
public
here and
service.
we can have a nice chat.
Fair enough.
Perfect. Do you happen to have your driver's license with you?
I do not. I'm not allowed to carry a wallet. I have sciatica, so I'm not allowed to sit on it. I don't think I've got any identification on me other than a credit card. Well, wait. Nothing with a picture. That's my second job.
Gotcha. Good shot.
I build birdhouses out of trash that I found on the side of the road, and I donate them to various not-for-profits. They auction them off for money.
Very nice. What's your date of birth?
12/8/1950.
And your home address? Commissioner, the reason we asked you to come by...
That's the real card.
Oh, there we go. The reason we asked you to come by is that our office received an allegation of a potential violation of the Sunshine Law.
Am I allowed to ask from who?
That's not information I'm allowed to disclose yet, but it will be public record when we're all done.
Fair enough.
So, I mean, I can completely understand anyone
I've
wanting to know.
got- it's not like I'm clueless here.
No, I understand. And we appreciate you coming by and being willing to answer a few questions. This won't take very long. But what we would like to do, we've met with at least more than one commissioner already. We'd like to take a quick sworn statement from you. That way when we write our reports, we can document that this is factual and this is exactly what Mr. Burbank said.
Fair enough.
Would you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
That's about all the gods.
Thank you. Commissioner, how long have you been a commissioner with the City of Deltona?
Since November.
This past November
Mm-hmm.
of 22.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a time, the current city manager now is
James Chisholm.
James Chisholm. How long has he been in place?
So I'm going to say December, January. It was not long after I got elected. It was decided we would keep him. He was acting at the time.
While he was the acting city manager, was there a time when the city solicited applicants for city manager?
No. That's when things were getting muddy. When I got there, things were kind of chaotic. They had apparently done a national search for a city manager just prior to my getting there.
Right, that was prior to you being elected.
And so we still had resumes on file, and I mean, it had just been like October or something like that. So we were discussing having another national search for a city manager when I got there, and then we got into, well, what's the point when we got Mr. Chisholm right here? Let's go ahead and offer him the job and save ourselves the trouble.
Okay.
That's it in a nutshell.
Okay. Now, do you remember when Mr. Chisholm became the acting?
He was there when I got there.
Okay.
Once again, the last quarter of last year was really, I wasn't there, but I heard, in the news, it was really chaotic. But my understanding is that they had released Mr. Peters, was it? And then Mr. Chisholm came in, but I couldn't give you the dates. But he was there when I got there. And he was as acting, and he'd been there for a month or two before I got there. Long enough to get in trouble with his deputy city manager, fire her, which is a whole other can of worms.
Okay. So Mr. Chisholm was there for some time during the last quarter of last year,
Yes.
prior to your election?
Yes.
Okay. In an acting city manager capacity?
As far as I know, yes.
Okay.
So to answer your question, we were not actively interviewing or soliciting because I was encouraging, look, we just did this, why spend another $50,000 when we've already got these people on file? And I contacted most of the applicants we already had by phone saying, are you still interested in the job? And if they said yes, and enough of them said yes, that's when I went back to my cohort group and said, why are we going through the search again if these people are still out there? In other words, save taxpayers that $50K.
Right.
And the time and effort, and Jim Chisholm, he's a bargain.
Are you aware of any, well, from the time you started making phone calls to applicants that were on file, did the commission or did any other commissioners invite any of these applicants to come to the city and participate in any public or private interviews?
Not that I'm aware of. Not that I'm aware of by any invitation, but there was an applicant in Deltona around that time. I think he was here for whatever reason, had family here or something.
Which applicant was that?
That would be Mr. David Lynch. He was in Deltona looking for a job, and I met with him for coffee. That was just him and I.
Okay. Do you remember where you met?
Boston Gourmet Coffee House on Saxon Boulevard. And I'm going to say that was around the holiday time. It was when before we had decided we're going to settle with Jim.
Right. And it was just the two of you alone?
Yes.
Did he mention anything about meeting with any other commissioners before your meeting or after your meeting?
He told me that he had got my phone number from Commissioner Jody Lee. And he asked to meet with me, and I said, sure.
Sure. Did he say anything about having met with Commissioner Lee or meeting with any other commissioners?
No. We talked, actually, I dodged the subject as much as I could. We talked about other things. Turns out we both published, and there was a lot of common ground between the two of us. We became temporary friends. I haven't heard from him for a couple of months now.
Are you aware of, quite frankly, the allegation that we received specifically is that there was a private meeting between Mr. Lynch and multiple commissioners?
I have no knowledge of that.
Okay.
The only time I've ever met with Mr. Lynch was just him and I.
Okay. Have you ever heard of any allegations to that effect?
I have heard that Jody had a party. He was a bar owner at the time.
Okay.
And that he met with David at that time.
Okay.
But that's just hearsay, rumor, scuttlebutt.
Okay.
I was not at the party. I can't go to Jody's parties. They drink far too much for me.
Okay. The scuttlebutt, as you put it, not from a reliable source that you could you put a name to it?
I would put the name rumor mill at work there.
Okay. Not.
But Jody has parties all the time. I have no idea.
Understood. If you had to try to reflect and remember who might have shared that information or said that, what we're trying to get to the bottom of, we're not trying to hurt anybody or embarrass anyone. We're just trying to figure out what happened. And I'm sorry?
I said that's a damn shame.
Well, it's the truth. So what we're just trying to figure out is what really happened, and if whatever happened is or is not a violation of the Sunshine Law, so that we can provide some help to the city and help get things corrected.
Okay, I wasn't at the party. I've only heard about the party, that there was a party.
Right.
And I don't know who was there, who was said. Once again, there's rumor that it might have been recorded, it might not have been recorded. This person was there. I don't buy into any of that crap.
Okay. And is there anyone's name that you can attribute any of that information to that we could talk to try to substantiate, is the rumor true or not?
Commissioner McCool, maybe.
Okay.
There's another gentleman out there. He's actually suing me as we speak. Nick Lully.
Okay.
He's Lulli. He was our mayor's former communications director. Whenever the mayor went to a town hall, Lully was there filming it, taking phone calls on Facebook, asking questions at town halls. So Lully was like the mayor's third arm. And he went everywhere the mayor went. He was there. He tried to get on the city planning and zoning board, and he was rebuffed. And recently he announced for city commission candidacy, and that's what I'd like to see him get. He's the one that's suing me.
Okay. Why is he suing you, if you don't mind my asking?
Jesus. This may take a minute. I'm not.
You don't have to answer that question.
I don't mind.
I'm just curious.
It'll give you some context.
Well, does it have
It has nothing to do with this whatsoever.
Don't tell me, because I
Very
don't
good.
want it to be part of your sworn statement.
Very good. It has absolutely nothing to do with this whatsoever. It's personal.
Okay, got it. All right. So, to put this in a very nice, clear, concise question with an answer, Commissioner, did you participate in any time in a private meeting that was not disclosed to the public with other commissioners where you discussed any information that would come before the board for a vote involving Mr. Lynch or any other city manager candidate?
Absolutely not.
Thank you. Do you have any personal knowledge of any other commissioners that may have engaged in that type of meeting? Personal knowledge meaning, do you have
Did
any?
you use the word improper in your question?
Well,
I do know that Jody met with David Lynch. That's all I know. I don't know where or when, but I'm told it was at that party.
okay. All
So,
right.
but to answer your question, short form, no.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Jim, you have any questions?
No.
Commissioner, we're sorry to take up your valuable time, but we genuinely appreciate you coming in this morning.
You're very welcome.
Is everything that you said today true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Absolutely. I have been, to give you some context here
Yes,
also, I spent something like 14 plus years on the City Planning and Zoning Board, quasi-judicial. I have been well coached as to sunshine rules. And I've read them thoroughly, but I will say that I am the one that stretches those limits as far as I can, because somebody needs to every now and then, because timidity is not going to work right now. It's time for bold actions.
Understood.
As Napoleon said, be audacious.
Okay. Thank you for coming.
You're very
in.
welcome.
All right. We hope you have a great day.
I'm headed for the beach now for some seafood.
Well, you should.
Yeah. And on the way home, I'm in heaven. There's a pot store right next to the donut shop. And I've lived this long. Legal marijuana and Martha Stewart on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Mr. Hunter? Turner.
Turner. Nice to meet you, sir.
You're welcome. That way.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. I'll look it.
We're out here today to ensure our natural rights are respected by those who swore an oath to support, protect, and defend the rights of the people. The purpose of all interactions is to peacefully promote government accountability and transparency. Please like, share, and subscribe so this message can reach as many people as possible. I implore you to peacefully seek redress to any and all of your grievances. This is a public service.